What's happening, Planet Poke people? I'm DeoGenZ, bringing you my brand new series, DeoGenZ's Pokemon TCG Collection. That's right, everyone. I'll be taking you through the many binders, foils, stacks of cards, holographics, and all those in between that I've been collecting for almost 15 years now in the Pokemon series. So starting off, the normal types that I have. It's important to note that not all of my cards are cataloged, so I don't know if this is exactly all of them, but it's a good selection. And if you guys find a card that really piques your interest, be sure to put the time code in the comment section below with your little anecdote of why it's interesting to you. Alright, so we've got Tauros, two of those, and Pidgeot, which is from the first generation of cards, I believe. And there's Pidgeotto. Oh, no, that definitely was from the first gen. I believe I have a holographic version of him somewhere. We'll probably do a bunch of holographic cards all together. Or better yet, I might as well just stick in a holographic card at the end of all these videos. Sadly, I don't have one prepped for this video, so catch it next time to see some of my holographic collections. The reason I've been waiting to do this series, though, was because of the camera quality. Now you guys can get a damn good look at these cards in all the high-definition goodness that my Canon Vixia delivers. Pot Smash. Is Farfetch'd a Granja kind of grinder? I don't know. Fearow. Fear the Fearow. You really do not want to tweak a Fearow's temper. Those things are vicious, ruthless, and yeah, they may be toothless, but their beaks are about as strong as two cleavers coming together trying to chomp down on their nemesis. This Kangaskhan was cool. I don't remember what the e-reader did for it. Dodrio looking dark and very annoying. Dodrio was always a Pokemon I never look forward to raising. Probably because seeing it in the anime, I saw it bicker all the time, and I was like, oh great, I'm going to have the worst time training one of these things. It's never going to go after the Pokemon I want. It's going to do just like this Doduo is here, and attack itself. At least that was my perception of it until I went to actually go train one. Bunch of Porygons. Porygon is pretty cool. I don't think I have Porygon 2 or Z. Ooh, but there's a holographic one. Ooh, going through the technical void. That is definitely an awesome card. Classic Eevee from the Jungle set. What's going on, other versions of Eeves? Meow, that's right! This was one of my favorite characters, as I'm sure it was for many people from the anime series. And just a bunch of repeat Eevees up there. But this is actually pretty cool. I've got Giovanni's Meowth, not only in English, but in Japanese as well. I don't really remember. I think it was a special pack. And yeah, it was probably a special bundle pack. Because what Toys R Us used to do, at least in my town, was they would package up all sorts of different booster TCGs in a giant box for people to open up and explore. And that was really awesome because you got such a large selection of cards, you were almost guaranteed to get some holographics. And the holographics you got were often really awesome. But I do remember that it shoved in a couple of Japanese packs in there as well. I don't know how Toys R Us managed to get a hold of that, but here's a Japanese Clefable, so that's interesting. It's funny, speaking of Toys R Us and Japanese imports, for some reason when I went to go get my very first Pokemon game, which was Crystal, I know many started out with Red, but I came into the series a bit late, mainly because I was barred from playing it by my parents, because kids were getting beat up over it, and they didn't want any part of that. So when I finally did get into Pokemon and went to go get Crystal, Toys R Us only had a couple of the games. They had red, and I was going to get red, but it was in Japanese. And they had crystal, and they had also a Japanese crystal, so I went with the English version. That's a very cool looking foil in the light. But I find it so odd that of all places to find Japanese imports, why a Toys R Us? And why Pokemon Red? I mean, of all games to have imported for Toys R Us, why would they go and do that one? I mean, it's been so long, you'd think everyone in America has that game. It's not like they're trying to release out, Black 2 and White 2 early, and try and get it out to the public in a Japanese form for hardcore players. So, I don't know. It was interesting, though. Funny when you run into Japanese things from stores you just would not expect it from. Unseen Forces Smeargle. I definitely have to do Smeargle as a Pokemon of the Week one of these weeks. I like that Togepi's art, because it can learn pretty much any move. I believe it really can learn any move in the entire game, because of its one ability called Sketch. Oh, now this was a really cool Ho-Oh. This was definitely from one of those box sets I was talking about earlier. Noctowl, looking mysterious in the darkness. Miltank, everybody's least favorite gym battle, at least when it comes to the second generation. Lanoon. It was funny, I read the Pokedex entry for Linoon and how it runs in straight lines, and I thought that it only ran in straight lines, so you wouldn't be able to control it really. It would just run past your battle, wouldn't fight for you, it would just keep running. Sorry, I'm Linoon, you should have had Zigzagoon, he would have zigged and zagged and maybe gotten an attack in on one of your opponents. All the same little skitty cards that evolve into Delcatty, but yeah, Linoon is pretty alright. Pretty alright. Good speed. Definitely not an overused category type, but good nonetheless. Slackoth. Yeah, I really never raised one of these. As soon as I learned about its ability, Slack Off or whatever it is, be lazy, basically, is the ability of it, I didn't have any compulsion to raise one myself. But now a Vigoroth, that's interesting. Would you guys keep a Vigoroth unevolved so it wouldn't go into a Slacking? Would you guys do that? Make it more of an offensive set? Now see, if only there was an Eviolite item for attack power, that would be awesome. Something that allowed your unevolved Pokemon like Vigoroth to gain more attack and more special attack. Tons of Talos, tons and tons and tons of Talos. Going into Swellows. And yeah, that would be a really freaking cool item, because then you would probably use more attacking pre-evolved forms, such as Vigoroth. That's a really cool Swellow card. I like the art on that. Very autumny. Looks like Swellow's up in the stratosphere, looking for Rayquaza. Or Rayquaza, whatever. Rayquaza, Rayquaza, Tomato, Tomata. Sometimes Pokemon name pronunciations, whatever you want to say. That's a cool Flygon. They get on my nerves. Especially people who are adamant about saying it one way or the other. I really, really don't care. I mean, yes, there are certainly, definitely wrong ways to say things. For example, I used to say Gyarados, and that was Gyarados. I learned quickly, though, that that was incorrect. It's funny to me that these dragons are oftentimes made normal, because there's no dragon type, at least not yet. Ooh, and I do wonder if that thunder is going to be picking up on the recording. We'll get to really test how amazing the capture quality this camera can be, even at capturing sound you don't want. Which I guess is not an amazing feature, but hey, it happens. But yeah, they are coming out with a dragon series. It'd be cool to get a hold of those. I think it's actually coming to America by the end of this August. So by the end of summer 2012, we should all be introduced to the dragon type, which is freaking awesome, because seeing these guys as normal doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how I ended up with 3 of these Salamences. Did this come from a pack or a deck? Because I've got, 4. And I think I have a holographic version of that Rayquaza somewhere. Somewhere in the card packs. But as you can see, we've stumbled on to the grass section of my binder and the end of this video because I just want to do one type at a time. So that was really cool, taking a stroll down memory lane and also having a little bit of forgetfulness. I really don't remember. How did I get all these Salamences? You know, it must have been from a Dragon box set or something. It had to be. Oh well. Oh, this is interesting. Look at that. Its weakness is normal type, so a Chansey could be super effective against a Rayquaza. I find that funny. Let me know in the comments below, especially with the time code, if there was any card that you saw that brought back fond memories for you. If you like this series, also be sure to comment and put your feedback into my mind, because these series only get better when you say something and direct them to be so. Otherwise, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Also, let me know what you think of the Canon Vixia's quality. This is still kind of my first couple of runs with this camera, so I'm making sure that the quality is up to snuff on every aspect. Alright guys, I'm DeoGenZ, and I'll see you in the future for more TCG collection videos.